Sticky Grass. Hi, my name is Anna, and I am a singer.
Hi, my name is Peyton, and I am a dancer.
And today, what are we doing today?
Today, we are back with episode 9 of our Getting to Know A series, where we will be fulfilling some of your requests. I'm so nervous.
We'll be reacting to 2 of their B-sides, and based on the responses that we got on Twitter and Instagram, today we're doing the 2 that got the most votes. Who mentioned the most? We will be watching live stages of them. The first one we'll be watching is Slow Dive, and the second one we'll be watching is Baby Tonight. So based on these titles, I see that people want us to become tomatoes.
People want to see us suffer.
Anyways,
let's go.
Yeah. This is a very quiet intro.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, 2 of them are laying on the ground. What?
Yeah. Corpse pose. Wait, I love the start of the choreography though.
Why is so much of this in English? What the?
I don't know.
Was the original demo in English? I wonder. That would make sense to me. Oh. What is this? Oh.
Oh, that was cool.
Oh. Yeah. Yeah, the percussion right before the chorus. It's turning like marching band. Triplet, yeah. Alright, like just like background high notes.
I'll just start with the beginning. Starting formation. I mean, I mentioned it in the reaction. I've talked about their starting formations before. I think that they always have really interesting ways to start their dances, which I love because it makes it feel less like a K-pop performance and more just like an actual choreography. And this one especially, when we were watching the stage, in my mind, it immediately was like, oh, if you were lighting this for a dance performance and not for a K-pop stage, it would start like all black and then the spotlight would come up on Jun and Donghoon and you wouldn't know that Chan, Wao, and Pyeongwon were over to the side, and then it would like switch and then the lights would slowly come up as they stood. Oh, it'd be so epic. Another time in the dance when I really liked the formations especially was in the second verse during the rap section. They were moving between formations a lot, but it didn't feel like, okay, we're in a V and now like I'm gonna walk over here and now we're in 2 lines and now I'm gonna walk and we're in a circle. Like the transition between the formations was actually incorporated into the dance that they were doing. So they were getting there through turns or through footwork or through like pass-throughs with each other. So it felt very seamless. And I love that. Like that's such good choreography, first of all. And then also the formations themselves that they were going to were giving the stage a little bit more depth because they were doing like diagonal lines, split diagonal lines, that sort of thing, where it wasn't just very like head on, like straightforward. So it was giving just like, basically it's another one of the things where it's a little detail that just makes the dance like that much better, which is what I really like about their dances and their stages. Another little detail that I liked about this choreography, the high note, when they all are raising their hand, they extended through their fingertips and it was so pretty. It was like literally ballet hands. And I know it's not what it was because they're not doing ballet, but it reminded me of ballet hands. I was like, ah, my heart is satisfied. And okay, my last comment is more of a general comment for the whole thing. So obviously the song and the choreography, especially the choreography, is made to be kind of like seductive. But it's really interesting because I have written down seductive, ... but with personality? Question mark. So usually when I say someone's dancing with personality, I mean like, oh, they're showing their silly side, like they're being quirky. But that's not what I mean here, obviously. Like they weren't being silly. This was more of just like showing their individual dance styles. The way they were doing the choreography actually differed a lot during the dance, like from member to member. A good example of that is when they're doing like the slowly diving to the floor and they're like kind of like crouching down to their back leg, which first of all, really cool. Like the fact that they're even just leaning back a little when they do it, another little detail. But they're rolling their shoulders as they do it. And some of them are rolling their shoulders inward and some of them are rolling them outward. And even then, when Donghoon does it, like he rolls out, but he's kind of like leaning back into it. And Chan's also rolling out, but he's a little bit more forward when he's doing it. So it's just like those little like personality differences that don't take away from the dance. Like it doesn't make it look messy or anything, but it actually, I liked it a lot with like kind of the meaning of the song because yes, they are dancing together, but like they're individuals, like kind of like telling the story, singing the song to someone. We're just not gonna go there, but I really liked it. I liked all those little like individual twists that they put on the dance. So that's all I got to say. Anna's turn.
Let's just start right away. So slow crescendo into the song, like slow build up, fitting because the song is called Slow Dive. Also, another like little thing, almost every single instrument has an echo effect on it in this song. So it's like slow dive into water or otherworldly feeling, like dreamlike, because they're trying to be seductive, I guess. So just a few things that I thought were cool. I pointed out the delayed entrance into the chorus right after the pre-chorus build-up. It's delayed with like all these percussion sounds and then it goes into the chorus. I think it's cool because it's like different from what you're expecting, because like usually you just expect it to go directly into the chorus drop or maybe like one beat of silence, but there's literally like a whole freaking measure of this percussion and then it goes in. My only thing is I wish that like the second chorus, when that happens, they had just like gone straight into the chorus and not done that again, because it becomes a little bit like bonnet, like a little bit predictable, because it's like, oh, it's gonna happen again. Not that I'm upset by it, but I think like to make it even more interesting, it would have been cool if they did that. Speaking of the chorus, in the first half, it does this really cool thing where like the beat percussion for just like one measure comes in like from this side, then this side. So it's like one beat here, then one beat here, then one beat here, then one beat here. When you're listening to it with headphones, it like makes it more interesting. Going on with other like little details that I liked in the song in chronological order, one of my favorite things in this song is from the chorus going into the second verse, there's background vocals that just go like as like a thing, like you're entering the second verse. And I know it's not like a big thing that happens, but acapella kid, and it's just like, that's literally an acapella moment that you do. That's like, what is it? Acapella 101 moment. That's something that you can do. But speaking of the second verse, something I noticed is that the way that they're singing just feels more like aggressive, meaner. The line that I'm specifically thinking of is when Chan is singing his line. Like his diction, the way that he's pronouncing the words, just like the way that he's leaning in and leaning out of the words, you know? Just like compared to the first verse, it's just more of like those stylistic choices happening, I think. And then to clarify one thing that I said for the bridge, I was like, oh, it's like becoming a marching band. It's the very much like brass horn sort of synth that you start hearing, and it's cool because it's actually doubling what they're singing on top of it, combined with like the bass that's already there. And then there's also like the snare playing on top, so it felt kind of marching band, but more grunge because like the bass and the brass is there, so it's very grounded, so maybe more like drumline. But yeah, those were just like little moments that I thought were cool throughout the song. And overall, I had actually expected it to be a little more like 끈적해 because of like the intro of the song, the title of the song, and the way that they're dressed. So sorry I didn't turn as red as people probably expected.
There's still one more song.
Alright, cool. And that being said,
Let's go. Okay, so for the second video that we'll be watching tonight, it was our second most requested B-side from Instagram and Twitter. We'll be watching the live version of Baby Tonight. This is where we're starting. Can you tell what are you wearing? What are they wearing?
Are you okay?
Yeah.
You can hear the doubling an octave lower.
Mm.
Are you kidding me? Oh, that's so cute. Sorry. In a song like this, I was like, oh, that's so cute.
Well, in the dance they were doing, ooh. Sorry, boys.
Right, they're supposed to be like seductive right now. Trappy.
King Wow sitting on his throne.
Oh!
That was a really unfortunate shot of that.
I really like that line.
The one that, which one?
The beginning of Jun's line.
Controlling.
Oh, okay. I was expecting there to be an ad-lib, but it's only in the background. Okay.
That was really cool. That was a really nice jump.
Oh.
What?
Stop. Oh? What is that ending?
Okay, so the first thing I want to talk about, I just want to clarify when I said like, oh, that's an unfortunate shot. I meant the camera work. I didn't mean anything they were doing. It was just that it was such a nice moment where Pyongyang was like arched back and they did this like really awkward close-up of the top of his head, and I was like, why? But okay, so things that I liked, there were so many, so just a couple. So the jump to the floor, which makes no sense. There's a moment, and I believe it's the second verse at the start of Pyongyang's part, when the other 4 members jump and then they all go to the floor. And I was like, oh, or I don't know if I actually said it out loud, but in my head I was like, oh, that was so nice. It's just because it's so seamless. And so like they jump and then Chan and Wao like kind of like slide out of it, and then Donghoon rolls out of it. And okay, to be completely honest, June was a little awkward. But when I went back and rewatched it, I was like, I think your path, like you've been told to go from here to here and it's kind of awkward, like the path you've been given. Or it also might have just been this performance, because, so I'm giving June the benefit of the doubt because Park Junhee is a really good dancer, so it might have just been like this performance. But for the other 3, there was literally no hesitation. It wasn't, usually when you jump, you have to land before you can go into the next movement. Like that's just what you usually see. But really, really skilled dancers can seamlessly go straight into the next move, and that was what they all did. There was no hesitation. It was basically like the landing was on the floor, and that was so nice. And it was reminiscent of, had the same energy as in the last chorus, when I know I said out loud that the jump was really good. Because there was a moment where they all jumped and they had like a little bit of hang time in the air in the tucked position, and then they extended their arms and kicked one leg out all at the same time, and it was so precise and it was so crisp. It was just a really nice moment. And basically like that sort of smoothness between movements was present throughout the whole dance. Yes, there are more percussive, more accented movements throughout the whole dance as well, but overall the like feeling that they're giving off is very like smooth, relaxed. They're doing that style of dance to match the song, and it's just really nice. It's like very satisfying. My most important comment, the thing I liked the most that I saved for last, is the footwork. Oh my gosh. Really, it's the little details in the footwork that just made this whole dance for me. But it's just the attention to detail in their feet. Wow. There are so many little details in their feet that if you weren't watching it, you might not notice. But there's a lot of like change between like we're walking heel to toe versus we're walking toe to heel. There's moments where they kind of lean into their movement and they go onto forestarch, which is like when you lean onto the ball of your foot and your heel comes up, and they kind of like lean over into it. Just like the attention to detail in their footwork is just chef's kiss. Impeccable, amazing. But overall, I actually really, really liked the song, like a lot. So, Anna's turn.
Yet again, the song is like supposed to be more seductive from what I can tell. Not saying that it's not entirely, but in case you couldn't tell during the reaction where I was like, oh, that part is cute. In the chorus, it's really the ooh that happens that helps with the whole sweet vibe. That part, the way it goes duh, and like kind of flinging that note in the air when it goes up is very like playful. But then like talking about the verses are more of like the seductive moments, you know? Let's just start with like the intro of the song. So the intro is very good at establishing the sort of mood vibe concept that they want to have, because it literally starts out with a vocal run. One thing that I wanted to talk about though was also during the intro, but then it plays throughout the rest of the song, the strings. It sounds like they're plucking strings, and I thought it was a nice effect because the way that the strings are being played, it's not simultaneously. It's like one note in the chorus slightly after the other. So instead of being like da, it's like da-dum, and it adds more personality to it to me. The bass that they have playing is very groovy. So because it's like a little groovier, the song doesn't feel overtly like I'm seducing you. I don't know. To me, a groovy bass feels more like smooth, gentleman sort of thing. But adding to the whole vibe, they're very breathy singing. There's a lot of breath in their voices. I wouldn't exactly call it slurred, but their diction, the consonants are like barely being pronounced, especially in the first verse. I'm really just thinking about like listening to June's part. I was like, I hear your consonants, but I have to listen for it. And if I was not reading the lyrics, I'm not sure I wouldn't understand which syllables you were saying. But it makes sense because like really crisp consonants would break the fantasy that's like being created from the song. And also just not only on their voices, but like all the instruments that are playing, there's the whole reverb echo effect again. With the instruments, it sort of feels like, I think you said this before, when the damper effect is on a piano, you like hit the note and then it's like sustaining and ringing out on its own. Because like in the verses, like none of the instruments are like a sustained note. You hear it hit and then it's just like the echoing out on its own. I already talked kind of about it. Background vocals in this song are wonderful. Like I mentioned in the reaction, like almost the entire song has background vocals on it, like doubling or harmonies, and it was just beautiful, and my ears were so happy. Also, especially the final chorus is not just a high note. There's like duet high notes, and then later on like duet high note line being sung over the melody that's still happening, and it was wonderful. And I know that there's a video that exists of them just singing it and not doing the dancing, but I didn't have time to watch it while we were writing our comments, so I'm gonna go do that after we film this, because I wonder if they do all of those ad-libs since they don't need to like worry about the dancing. Yeah, I think I need to stop here because I've talked for a lot, but yeah. I really liked it. Cool.
Do you want a TLDR?
I can TLDR.
Cool.
So, TLDR for this video is we have finally reacted to 2 of A.C.E.'s B-sides, Slow Dive and Baby Tonight, and these were the 2 most voted for what songs? What is English? Both of these were a sort of like seductive, sexy vibe, but then for some reason we ended up being like, nah!
So cute!
Peyton, which one did you prefer?
Baby Tonight.
Same! Not that Slow Dive is bad, but like, Baby Tonight.
Yeah.
But anyways, we will be reacting to 2 more of their B-sides in next week's Getting to Know Ace episode. So yeah, don't worry, we're still gonna do 2 more.
That being said, if you enjoyed this video, and if you also enjoyed these songs, then please leave a like, comment, subscribe,
ding,
turn on your notification bell.
Oh no, I should have done ooh.
And bye.
Bye.